I'm Erica.
Trevor, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming into the agency today.
Thank you.
So I had time to go over your evaluation, and I just wanted to kind of go over some of the markers that came up. So tell me about why you are here today.
I just feel like there's times or incidences where I am sadder than I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a dark cloud just kind of follows me around on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. When did this start occurring?
About 3 years ago.
Okay. Was there anything in specific that you believe that started it? Did something happen in your life during that time?
Just different incidences. It just kind of piled on, and I feel that it has just carried on its way through these past few years and just gotten worse.
All right. So have you, I noticed that you were 23. Did you recently just finish college?
Yes.
Okay. So this started during college?
Yes.
Okay. So what I was thinking for today, I know this is our first session, so I was thinking maybe we can just kind of go over a little bit of what your assessment went over, and then kind of some treatment plans that I was thinking that might be able to help you, and kind of go from there.
Okay.
All right. So my first assessment treatment plan for Trevor would be to talk about some medications. I noticed that in his assessment, he has not been on medication yet for depression, but was open to it. So I was going to talk to him about some different types of medications to see if he would be comfortable going on those. So my first thing would be some medicine. I've noticed for a lot of clients that starting off in the beginning, going on some medication kind of help balances some things out. It's not a permanent solution, and I don't want you to think that you have to rely on it all the time, but it does help some clients. Do you think that you would be open to something like that?
I would be open to the thought.
All right. I like to ask my clients, is there any concerns before I go into what medications, how they would help you?
I'm always a little cautious on the medication, but I'm open to the idea.
Okay. So with depression, there are a couple of different types of medications. There are ones that as soon as you take it, you would start to feel the effect of them. And then there are some that you would take over time, that you would take once a day, and over the period of 24 hours, it would be a pretty progressive but moderate reaction in your body. So there's those two types. Do you think, have you ever had any issues with medications?
No, my only fear is my emotions being drained.
Okay. I have noticed with people with depression that the Xanax, something that hits you right away, sometimes can be have more addictive qualities to them. So I noticed that there wasn't any addiction in your family, but I know it can be a concern for people, especially when they're first going on medications. So Lexapro, which is one of the medications that you take once a day, and it would go over a period of 24 hours, and the medication would be slowly going over the 24 hours, so you don't feel it right away.
Okay.
I have noticed that really helps clients who are trying to find a happy medium type of thing. So do you think that would be something that you would be more...
I would be inclined to try.
Yeah. Okay, so what we would definitely do, how I would say medication would go, would be you introduce it to your body slowly. You don't want to overpower your body because you want your body to get better instead of taking a couple steps back.
Of course.
So basically, I would suggest you go on about 10 milligrams, which is a very low dose, and you would start with half a pill a day for about 2 weeks, and then you would introduce, so that would be 5 milligrams, and then after the 2 weeks, you would start with a 10. Medications, I really tell my patients when talking about treatment plans that involve medications is that they're not the permanent solution, but they're just there to help you and get you through the more difficult times and trying to just help you get into the better direction, and so you're feeling happier and you through your days. So that would be my first treatment suggestion.
Okay.
So do you think that would be something that you think would help?
Absolutely. What are other options to explore?
Yes. So my second treatment plan for Trevor would be, I would suggest cognitive therapy. I believe that this would help him, knowing that looking at his past history, he has been extremely social. He is very involved with his community, and I believe that using his strengths perspective would be extremely valuable for Trevor as a client in helping him with his depression. So my next treatment plan would be cognitive therapy. Basically, this is where you kind of get in touch with yourself. Okay. Have you ever kept a journal before?
I have not.
Okay. Do you find journaling, how do you feel about journaling? Do you find it silly? Do you find it...
I think there are pros and cons to everything. I think if it would be a viable option for me, I would be willing to try it.
Okay. So, I believe with treatment, I think finding things that work for you, finding where you believe that there's always a little good in every day, and I believe that right now you have more sad days than good days, but when you are having a moment, or when you are with your family, or going out on a walk, or going for a swim and everything, I believe that that's when you should take a step back and kind of reflect. I think reflection is something that is extremely powerful for clients because it allows them to kind of step back, and our lives are very crazy, that be able to be like, okay, I did do something today that is positive, and focusing more on that than more of the, I didn't get out of bed today, I didn't eat properly, I didn't go on a bike ride, something like that. Have you ever been to group therapy before?
No.
No? No. I think that group therapy would be another awesome suggestion for you because you are not alone in this, and it's not having someone telling you, oh, you're supposed to be feeling this way, you're supposed to be feeling that way. I believe that group therapy, because you are young, you are in your 20s, you're active within your community, I believe that having other people your age, being able to talk to them and realize that, hey, maybe this person has the same experience as me, maybe they have suggestions on how I should handle this and stuff like that. I believe that would be a good tool for you to use.
Would you recommend that with the medicine?
I do. I believe that having a couple different treatment plans is important with clients, especially the ones that you seem to be extremely determined to kind of get ahead on your depression. I think it is extremely important to self-acknowledge that you came in, you made the step to get better, and I believe going to doing group therapy and journaling and talking to the people that mean the most to you, opening it up to them, that is the first step, and you taking the step to help yourself you're on the right track. So I do believe that you taking the time and doing group therapy, and sometimes people make lifelong friends that they didn't even know they could even make sometimes, would be also another strong aspect that would come out of the group therapy.
I could definitely see myself doing that.
Good. I'm glad, because and you can choose to do, what's awesome about group therapy is that they are an outpatient resource, so it's not like you are put into a place and you can't leave and it's anything like that. It is, you go on your own, you kind of figure out what groups work for you, what groups don't work for you. You can choose to go within your community, or you can go outside of your community. So I think that would also be an awesome.
Absolutely.
Good, I'm glad. So my third and final treatment plan that I would suggest for Trevor would be the IPT process. I believe that talking about his physical symptoms and his interpersonal relationships would really help Trevor. I know that he has experienced some trauma in his life, but not a tremendous amount, and I know that he has a lot of family in his life that are extremely supportive, and I believe that that is an important aspect of his treatment plan. So I would use that part of his treatment by using his strengths. Okay, so my last treatment suggestion, I know this is a lot for the first session, but it's called the IPT process. Have you ever heard of this before?
I've not ever heard of it.
All right, so this is a very, again, short-term process. So first off, you would start with your physical symptoms. So what do you think what do you notice the most, like when it comes to your depression episodes?
On a day-by-day basis?
So during those day-by-days, what do you feel that makes you, what symptoms of depression do you think that you have?
Very unmotivated, lack of want to do anything, low energy, just almost a bum.
Do you feel these every day? Do you feel these on some days more than others? At certain time during the day?
I would say a day-by-day basis. I think, of course, some days are worse than others, but on a grand scheme, yes, there are symptoms every day.
Okay. So I think the most important thing this would kind of be something that you could put into your journal, kind of noticing okay, so this morning it was more difficult getting out of bed, or I didn't have an appetite. Do you feel like you eat enough?
No.
No? Okay. So that's something that you need to be more aware of. You need to be more aware of your physical symptoms. So by you eating, by you getting a proper amount of sleep, not oversleeping, not undersleeping, that will be able to help you. By you being more aware of your physical symptoms, that will make you more aware of your depression and kind of be able for you to take a step back and be like, okay, so today I'm not feeling the greatest, and
I'm not helping myself by not.
Correct. My second thing is I noticed on your assessment that you did write that you have a strong connection with your family. Do you feel like you could talk to your family about this?
I think so.
Yeah. Has anyone in your family struggled with depression prior?
Not that I'm aware of, but possibly.
Okay. So, with depression, I know that your family's a very important aspect of your life. So, being able to be honest with them and explain to them, this is what I'm going through and this is how I'm feeling. Because if you don't feel like it is something that you should be ashamed of, that no one is going to feel that way. And the most important part is that you don't feel that way, because depression is the most common thing that, especially older adults in their 20s, 30s, and 40s deal with. So it's nothing to be ashamed of.
What if they're unsupportive?
Which is very possible, because depression is something that people get uncomfortable about because they don't quite understand it sometimes, and it can be scary for them, especially if it's your mother or your father or your siblings or something. They want the best for you, and sometimes they don't know how to help you when some things like that. So there are a lot of, you can do family therapy. That is also, and that's not an hour to hash out all your family issues that have occurred over the last 20-something years, but being able to have someone there to help you